So here's one of the things I want to tell you about this. Science is beginning to show us this looky-loo world that we are in, this selfie world that we are in, is starting to have us react a bit differently. Research is showing us that individuals conform less to information on other people's choices when these choices convey action or are accompanied by action than when their choices are only conveying preferences. In other words speak louder than actions. So if your marketing is communicating an action that someone has taken, they bought the franchise or they bought this product or service versus communicates why they preferred this product or service or company, why they like this better. So the action hasn't been taken yet. This then will create curiosity. This will have people step out of their comfort zone. But the minute you already show the action, they're going to become voyeurs and place themselves in the shoes of the person that already took the action, just like we saw with this guy. No need to take action. He's living voyeuristically. So words speak louder than action. Don't convey the action, convey the preference for a certain action or a certain purchase. So this in turn has your prospect checking you out and then turning around and checking out your competitor. So what begins to happen is if you are showing action in your marketing, then it causes a looky-loo-ism. They're getting a hit. Well, that's really cool. I'm also a firefighter. I'm also an athlete. Maybe I should become a franchise also. Nothing wrong with that. But because you have communicated action versus preference, why I'm interested in this, what caused me to prefer, one gum versus another gum as an example, will only have this individual checking you out and then checking out your competitor. All of a sudden, they've gone from your business to another franchise system. And if they've done a better job creating people into this educational zone, into this learning zone, and past those walls of fear and outside the comfort zone and stimulated curiosity through preference versus action, then they're likely to get that business versus you. And this is a shift in the way marketing is working simply because we have been so long in this conformed society, looky-loo society, selfie society, that people are no longer listening to what you're doing. They're listening to what you're preferring. So individuals are often motivated to pursue different actions. So if you can show that your product, your service, your company, your business complements what others do or others possess or others know, they're going to be much more interested than if you showed that the individuals or franchisees actually did something. So the focus here is on preference versus action. So basically what this means is we are shifting from a Me Too society, a looky-loo society, a selfie society, to an ad to society. Now, some of you have already noticed this with the millennials, where they want to know how they can complement or add to something. And if we can't show them that and they're just one of, they're not going to be interested. This is not just limited to millennials, it's limited to anyone interested in the business who ultimately is going to perform well. They're asking, how will my presence in your franchise concept add to you and add to me versus have me just be one of all the other folks you have? How am I different, and how does my uniqueness and difference complement you as a franchisor and take you to the next level? Here's some great copy that's written by Rachel Weinstein, and some of you have seen me use her work before on the burger joint, a new burger concept. And this is add to copy versus me to copy. So you are top drawer. We're ground floor. We're looking for visionaries who want to make their mark, etch their names in neon. You're not just another franchisee. You're someone special. You're an indispensable partner and pioneer. We can't take this franchise concept anyplace without you. We need you. We need you as a partner. You bring smarts, you bring passion, and you bring an entrepreneurial spirit into the investment. You're top drawer. We're ground floor. Let's start a revolution. So it's together we're going to do something. The franchisee is complementing the franchisor and vice versa. I'm not just another burger joint owner. I am indispensable, and I am going to bring something to the table. Me too versus add to copy. Another example of this is bestseller versus most liked. Check this out when you're on eBay or Amazon or Facebook or all of these things. Notice what you're attracted to. Are you attracted to bestseller or most liked? And again, this is simply because we're all shifting as a culture. People are responding in terms of curiosity and willingness to take action, not just looky-loo, not just the wonder, but to actually take physical action. There's more action taken when we can position something as most liked versus best seller, because we tend to avoid bestseller because that's what everybody else is doing, and they're conforming and they're in this comfort zone. Superstars don't live there. They live slightly outside of there, and that's what you want, right? You want superstars. You want high performers. They're not looking at bestsellers. They're looking at the preferences that others have for certain products and certain services, and they know that they can do something about it. So what exactly are preferences? Okay, preferences are value-coded neurons. We go back to my love again, neuroscience, neuroeconomics. They are neurons that are value-coded, and they're coded based on motivational salient properties or stimuli. So what is this motivational salient properties? So motivational salient properties are values. So the more important that value is, the more salient it is, the higher that value. Let's call the value control or freedom or independence or money or success, whatever that value is, the more important it is, the more salient it is, the more it motivates us, the more it is coded neurologically, and it drives us to do things. If we can now show a prospective franchisee that our concept, our products, our services are in alignment with their motivationally salient properties, their values, then they're going to be endlessly curious as to how we did that and how they can get involved. So we have to show those values. Secondly, we have to show them their fears. So those are also motivationally salient properties, is their fears. Show them how they can get beyond their fears and instead have their values. Now you got them in this high state of arousal and curiosity that says, tell me more, show me more. I want to go this direction. Continue to lead me this way. You got them in that learning zone. You got them in that curiosity zone by stimulating their values and stimulating their fears in a way that they want to overcome them, not shut them down. So here's what's also interesting, and this is just kind of a little bit of a side note, is reaction time speed to decision is also neurologically correlated to these values in the basal forebrain. So in other words, we are faster to decision. If you've got a prospective franchisee that's taken forever to cross that finish line, it's because you don't have your product or service or company or vision aligned with their motivationally salient pieces of values. So you need to align those. As you do, the reaction time speeds up and the decision speeds up. So this is a massive piece, and we're going to, of course, spend more time with that as we get further down the line with these webinars. So reaction time speed, there's a huge connection there. Now, ironically, in each human being, there are different fears, different values, but both the fears and the values act as motivators, act as curiosity instigators. So we want to pay attention to those fears, and we want to pay attention to those values, and we want to have our marketing and our processes be in such, designed in such a way that we stimulate this individual out of their comfort and conform zone, over the walls of those fears, into that open place where they're learning and they're curious and they're rushing towards finding a solution to accomplish what it is that they've always wanted to accomplish, but they have not allowed themselves to do so in the past. So, are your candidates slow to action? Do they sort of, fizzle out towards the end? Are they responding to values consistent with your top performers? So not only do we want them aligned with the values that will motivate them and cause them to be curious and move through the process, but we also want those values to be consistent with our top performers for lots of good reasons, including creating consistent culture and a consistent brand, all things that we'll address down the road. So do they fit? Are they slow to action? Are they responding to the right values? Are they responding to the values that your top performers have? And do they fit? So what makes a prospect, a franchisee, a good fit? So there are a handful of things that we're going to talk about more in depth, but these are the primary ones we're going to talk about. A franchisee that shares your values as a franchisor is a good fit. A franchisee that fits within your stage of growth as a franchise system is going to be a much better fit. A franchisee that fits within your culture, can embrace it and enjoy it, is going to be a good fit. Someone that can comply and leverage your system. Someone whose skills, core competencies actually complement your strategic plans is going to be a good fit. Now, none of these things, of course, can be measured through personality tests, and we certainly can't do it through gut feeling and intuition. So we're going to show you some ways to determine if someone is a good fit, that they have the same values, they have the same stage of growth, they have the same culture, that they're going to comply, and they have complementary skill sets. We're going to show you how to go about that so you can get these folks, again, into that mode where they're going to be looking at your business and not just in a looky-loo, isn't this interesting, isn't this cute, but they're actually going to do something. So let's break it down and simplify. We're going to talk about science-based marketing in this series over this next several months. We're going to talk about how to determine your ideal candidate. We're going to talk about ways to challenge that comfort zone. And we're going to look at ways to stimulate trait curiosity to get folks to keep moving. We're going to show you ways to break down the walls of fears and also use those same fears to stimulate folks into a place of investigation versus fight or flight. We're going to show you how to create opportunities for learning, and we're also going to show you ways to leverage the values to get folks highly motivated and moving towards business ownership.